Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of Radio Entrepreneurs, also chairman of the board of Mage LLC, management consulting firm working with leadership of many changing, evolving, and growing organizations. Our next guest is Sofia Malferrari, American business developer for BeFC, correct?
BeFC, yeah, correct.
So tell us about BeFC.
Yeah, so we're a startup. We're originally from France, and we're currently opening operations in the US. We make paper-based bifuel cell batteries. It does sound a little complicated. It's just stacks of paper, and then there's a layer where enzymes and sugar are stored, and we make battery and energy in a very environmentally friendly way.
So what is the use of these batteries, and why were they developed in the first place?
For sure. So they're low power. So it would be mostly for low power applications and low power electronics. We wouldn't power a fire alarm or a smartphone, definitely not. But applications in healthcare, medical, IoT, wearable, logistics, think about needing to track parameters for a package like temperature, humidity, or anything like that in logistics. And then in healthcare, think about glucose monitoring, fertility testing, anything in medical and healthcare that is one-time use, single use, or something that really has a short lifetime would be the ideal application for us.
Interesting. And was your company the originator of this technology?
Yeah, so we have 40 years of research behind. So we are pioneers in this. We're also affiliated to the National Center of Research in France. And so we are pioneers in it for sure.
So how long have you been in the United States?
I've been in the US for 4 years. However, I started with this company at the beginning of the year.
And is Boston the head office for this business?
Yeah, for the moment, we're exploring. We're between Massachusetts and North Carolina, but both, let's say. It's mostly remote.
Right. So what is the potential of the US market for this? You say 40 years in France, so clearly you've been established.
So 40 years of research. However, the company is really young. We just turned 2 years old last week, so really relatively young. It's academic research again, and then it became a company 2 years ago. In terms of the US markets, it's obviously huge when it comes to healthcare and logistics. Think about logistics, trucks and planes. Distances are really big here, so there's a lot of need for tracking things along the way in the supply chain, but also healthcare, the pharmaceuticals. They operate a lot here in the US, so there's definitely a huge market for us here.
Interesting. How many people are there in the US?
It's just me for the moment. However, we're 30 in France in the headquarters.
And what's your position?
I'm the lead of the US market for the company. So really trying to find opportunities in terms of prospects, in terms of investment as well, conferences, all of that.
So the company is totally supplied out of France?
Yeah, with the goal of opening manufacturing and operations within the next year or two.
So you're going to set up all operations in the US?
Yeah.
So are you doing any kind of delivery of products at this particular point of time?
So what we do is that we have joint development agreements with partners with which we work together to create a product, either put our battery as a replacement or really do an innovation together with the partner. So we're not commercial in the sense that we don't give batteries around, but we work with the partner to eventually put that product that we do together out in the market in X amount of time.
So how long have you been with the company?
Since the beginning of the year. It's relatively new.
Were you hired out of France or locally?
I should say both. It was quite funny because I was expecting the interview to be done in English. It was done in French, but so kind of locally, but then French too.
So you're from this area?
So yeah, I stayed in Boston for 4 years for college. So I'm really familiar with Boston.
And what's your background?
I'm originally from Italy. Then when I was a kid, we moved to France, me and my family. And so I grew up in the French system.
So give me a sense of the next 2 to 5 years, the rollout. What's the future plans of the company?
Yeah, so it's really exciting. We are coming up with a new manufacturing machine that will help us move to 1 million units per day in a year or two. Then we're also having more and more contracts. So there's a lot of opportunities. In the end, we're empowering IoT devices in a very environmentally friendly way. And the vision for the next 3 to 5 years is to provide the platform for the paper battery printed circuits that represents like almost a sticker that you can then attach to objects, products, wearables to then collect data in a very environmentally friendly way again, since it's an organic product that is totally biodegradable. And then the production will be done through roll-to-roll printing, as I said, so we can bring the cost down. And then towards the later half of the decade, we hope to have 100 million in revenue. That's kind of the picture.
And how far has the company progressed in France?
We already have 6 to 7 contracts so far. And last year we achieved 1 million in revenue. Then we also got 3 million euros in seed round, and then other 3.5 in non-dilutive funds, and then 1 million in revenue last year. So we're pretty advanced for a 2 years company.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're going to have an exciting future ahead of you. Is there any competition for what you're doing?
Yeah, so mostly the competition is other types of green sources of energy. Think about photovoltaic, vibration, thermal, all of these. However, these types of energy source need something external to function. Think about sunlight. It's to be at a specific angle. It's stuff that is really hard to achieve when you're in a truck, when you're under a t-shirt, for applications that really, don't necessarily have direct sunlight coming to them. So there is competition, other types of green sources of energy, which are great for some things. However, in the specific applications that we work on, we were much better.
We've been speaking with Sofia Malferrari of a BeFC. Sophia, if somebody wants to learn more about the company, study it, understand its applications, how would they find any information on it?
For sure. You can go to befc.us and reach out to me via email, sofia.malferrari@befc.us.
And you're willing to come back to us as things progress?
100%. We would love that.
Oh, we'd love to have you back again and see how things are going. I want to remind everybody, my name is JDavis. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. I can be found at the letter J, Davis at mageusa.com. That's my consulting firm. Thanks, Sophia, for being on the show today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
This is Radio Entrepreneurs.